Kanae and I stopped writing to each other many years ago. 14. I had finished my first year of junior high, the morning after the end of term ceremony. End of term ceremony. I flew from Haneda to Kagoshima Airport. Even though it was my first time flying alone, I didn't run into any problems checking in and boarding the plane. Since they had told me to at least show up to my last end of term ceremony in Tokyo. Wait, did I just skip an entire line? Even though it was my first time flying alone, I didn't run into any problems checking in and boarding the plane. My parents had moved to Tanegashima earlier than planned, since they had told me to at least show up to my last end of term ceremony in Tokyo. I ended up following them to the island by myself. Wasomon is like, Ashra? I wonder. It does seem like that, doesn't it? After 1 hour and 50 minutes of sitting still in an economy seat, I arrived in Kagoshima. I hope my voice is not too loud. I didn't feel uneasy or really anything at all. As strange as it may sound, it comforted me to know that there wouldn't be any stopovers once the plane had taken off. I found a shuttle bus at the airport and got on. I dozed off for a bit and woke up in Kagoshima City. When I looked out the window, I saw trams running parallel to each other, moving along the wires above the center of the wide road. Well, I actually have not watched that. I was going to recommend it actually, but I think the reviews on my anime list weren't too good, so I didn't recommend it. Yo, if Blue hadn't watched, I think Blue would be interested in that. I tried to get Blue to watch Whisker Away, but they weren't too interested. I got off the bus in front of Kagoshima City Hall and followed my photocopy of a map to the harbor. Due to the broadness of the road and the lack of high-rise buildings, it felt like the sky was incredibly vast. When I saw the palm trees that lined the road, it really hit home that I had come to southern Japan. When I boarded the express ferry to Tanegashima, I could see a large, brown, rocky mountain on the other side of the large bay. It looked like it was blocking the exit to the sea. You know, I realized, so you know how I broke my glasses a few days ago? I thought this was the same prescription, but I think these are my old glasses, because I can't read as well. I actually need to be closer, hold up. And be up close and personal. Pop. Hope I don't show my face. Alright, that's much better. When I researched the mountain later, I found out that it was a famous Sakurajima, Cherry Blossom Road. I solemnly continued my journey. My father met me at Nishino... Wait, how do I pronounce this actually? Nishino Mote Harbor. And then he drove for about an hour towards the town of Minamitane. They're very pretty. Yeah. I do need to get a new pair. One day. Not too much trouble currently though. We took the national... it's barely any different. It's barely an inconvenience. It's just that I kind of have to read kind of far away because the camera's up here and I'm kind of far from the book. Otherwise, you can probably see my face. Where were we? We took the national highway all the way down to the coast to Minamitane. When I opened my window, I could smell the ocean. To this day, I still remember that fresh, intoxicating scent. The toxin broke off into a pale green field. The town? I swear that toxin, because I read intoxicating. The town broke off into a pale green field extended across and between the previous town and the next. Further beyond the field stood a pristine, dark green mountain. Then the mountain dropped off into a ever-shimmering sea. The place seemed nothing like Yamano in Nagano Prefecture, a place where I used to live when I was younger. Maybe it had something to do with the different vegetation. Yeah, I guess I was just impressed. I didn't think beautiful places like it still exist in Japan. My family and I had moved into a detached house made of wood. It had been a while since we lived in an actual house. Despite the building's old age, its interior decorations were relatively charming, and had even been cleaned before our move. The rather thick, dark brown wooden beams that ran across the ceiling gave the house a fairly luxurious feel. More than anything, it really was quite big. My father said that living in a house might feel nice after all those years we had spent in apartments. This certainly was refreshing, not bad at all. Oh, you stop that. Hey, Sofu. I went out into the garden and gazed off into a remarkably vast, deep blue sky. The sky to Kagoshima had felt massive enough already. But in the garden, it was almost a whole size larger. It felt like my head hadn't caught up with reality. The train in the snow still lingered in me. The snowflakes pelting against the window, the overpowering heater, the anxiety. I felt these things constantly. The true realities were so different that it made my head spin. I thought back to the view of the island I had in my father's car. I remember learning about windbreaks and sugarcane fields in school. It was my first time seeing them in real life. I had come to a rural island. This place will do for now. I'm just going to leave again anyway. In April, I transferred to Minamitane Junior High School. I was somewhat relieved to hear that I would be wearing the same standard black uniform that I wore at my last school. After changing schools so many times, I was already a veteran. I perfectly understood how a transfer student should behave. I think it's partly because Akari had provided an example. After watching her, my vague grasp of what it meant to be a transfer student had turned into a completely conscious understanding. While I'm sure everyone has similar realizations, whether it's in college, at a job, or somewhere else down the line, gaining that knowledge at the young age of 14 had given me an enormous advantage. You could even call it my weapon. This is what I had learned. I was rereading it real quick to make sure I understand what I'm reading. Yeah. Hey, Sauce. Hope you're doing well. Do not fear attracting attention. Do not enjoy attention too much. Do not stand out, but also do not hush your breath. You must subtly show others that you mean them no harm. The hosts are also afraid. You must understand that. For a short time, for a period of about 1 month or a month and a half, new transfers have celebrity status. What you do while you have that status determines victory or defeat. You should learn all your classmates' names because people like to feel remembered by a celebrity. Their positive impression of you will be your key to making friends. In any case, never act like you do not fit in. Children are sensitive to that and will reject you on sight. All 14-year-olds think that they are adults, but they are just kids. Childish is the only way to describe their reaction to outsiders. It was something I already knew to be painfully true. I feel like you're also you also think you're an adult too, though. I learned that today in your life, unfortunately. My hand. In terms of the above guidelines, I don't think I received many compliments on my class greeting when I first transferred to junior high. But I don't think I was complained about either. I've gotten used to changing schools for my dad's job, but I still haven't gotten used to this island. It's nice to meet you. I probably couldn't hide how much I hated that I had to be there. Kanae Sumida was in my class, but I didn't specifically notice her then, nor did I notice her for a while after that. It has been years since I graduated junior high and high school. I'm writing this because I can't forget what happened back then. I'm going to write about myself. And then about Kanae, who I doubt I'll ever meet again. Now that I think about it, I'm almost certain that the first time she and I talked about a week after I transferred in. I pretty much figured out who was friends with who, which of the kids were movers and shakers. In that sense, I found a girl who had no label. I don't really remember what we talked about. I assume this means our conversation didn't strike a chord in either of us. If I remember correctly, I think she was kind enough to show me my next class. That's right, she came right to my desk and told me how to get there. I think she said, next is science or something like that. I was a bit surprised how Kanae Sumida, whom I never spoken to before, randomly came to tell me that. I didn't think much of it. I just figured that she was one of the nice girls. We probably walked together to the hallway that led to the corner of the second floor, where I sat in a room with black countertops let in so much sunlight that it made you drowsy. Because of the strong winds on the island, clouds of sand swept up from the ground. It was dusty. It was always dusty in the building, no matter how often it was cleaned. Since there were barely any students, I passed several empty classrooms where I walked those sandy hallways. You never found sandy hallways or empty classrooms at a junior high in Tokyo. These details made me feel as if I had traveled up to an unfamiliar land. Light from the bare southern windows poured into the deserted classrooms, reflected off the white ceilings and floors, and shone bright into the hallway. That strong, penetrating light has been burned into my mind as a symbol of my life as a student on Tanegashima. Kanae was probably watching as I took in that view with squinting eyes. At that time, I didn't notice these things. I was oblivious. Yeah, have a good one, OG. Adjusting the book. Oh, let me take a drink of water. Hopefully it's raining. Hey, Robo. Yeah, I read. I try to read every Thursday. Or Thursday night, Friday morning. Oh, we're doing well, Robo. I didn't notice because my surroundings were too new to me, and I was nervous about fitting in. And also because Akari was too important to me. I was just staring at the grounds through a window in an empty classroom where I spotted a newly painted soccer goal lying on the ground. I hadn't been a member of the soccer club at my old high school, but hadn't rejoined. I had lost all interest in sports. Something had changed. So I was rereading again. Why did we bring up Akari? Is this from a perspective of the girl? Hold up. I'm I feel like I'm reading this perspective of the guy instead. Or am I trolling? I might be trolling. It's been a week. Yeah, it feels like it is Takaki right now. Alright, I'll just keep on reading and read what I know. Every day, I had off from school. I toured the island on my bicycle. Because I remember Takaki was also on an island. Used to be, yeah, the first part was the girls. The problem is, the entire movie was in the guy's perspective. So I thought the entire book of this would be from the girl's perspective. Because I was like, oh wow, the girl's also in the island too, huh? But no, this is the guy's perspective right now, I think. Huh. Yeah, the nice reading voice, thanks. On the first Sunday after I transferred, I went straight to the only bookstore in Minamitane and bought a guidebook on Tanegashima. It was the kind that had a map in it listing the island's tourist attractions. Using the book as my guide, I traveled to all of the picturesque spots. I was way too restless to stay in one place. When I started junior high, my aunt in Nagano bought me a mountain bike, which I ended up using quite a lot. I called it a mountain bike, but it wasn't actually meant to climb mountains. It was just an ordinary bike from a hardware store. In fact, the manual even contained the warning, do not ride through the dirt. That being said, it was equipped with slick tires and rode just fine if you pedaled hard enough. God damn, I'm a fool. Tanegashima is the 5th largest offshore in Japan, though traveling its entirety is much easier said than done. Minamitane was on the southern tip, and I worked my way north, visiting a tourist spot or two every weekend. That's very cute. Tanegashima is a thin and narrow island that stretches nearly 40 miles from north to south. Riding my bike from Minamitane to Nishiomote, a city up north, would be tough. Not impossible, but counting backwards, I figured that it would probably be too dark to see on the way home. Despite that, I spent many weekends sleeping at the Barata Beach Resort campgrounds on the northern tip of the island before going back to circling the island the next day. Tanegashima Space Center was the place I went to first. When I pedaled a few miles along the river and up a straight uphill road, I was already standing on NASDA ground. JAXA, J-A-X-A, was still called NASDA, NASDA back then. My bicycle chain creaked all the way up to the slope. When I finally reached the slope, the horizon expanded beneath me. A faded lawn, which could have been a golf course or a meadow, spread there. An asphalt road ran up through its center, straight through its center. Beyond that lay the ocean. Tanegashima's sea seemed to be riddled with craggy rocks, striped light brown. I never knew how to pronounce this word. Miocene sandstone reminiscent of Mars' surface jutted colossally out of the water everywhere. Centuries of violent erosion had worn away the shore, revealing the deep red of the soil, exposing the island's true colors which had been hidden under a blanket of green. You need a bald pea emo? Oi. That's not happening. Far beyond the colossal red stones, a cape protruded into the sea. At its tip were two horn-shaped steel towers and a square white building. That was the launch site. I had my bike on its side and stood in the middle of the road, lifting my eyes to the expansive, if somewhat overcast, sky. I imagined a soaring rocket. Which way was it flying, though, and how? I couldn't really picture it, despite having seen news footages of a rocket launch plenty of times. Somehow I couldn't imagine realistically. Love your nails? that's I haven't gotten that compliment yet. Thank you. You effing love anime. Nice. Hello, Soul, and thank you for the follow. For having good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Miochin, I see. Thanks. Thanks, Soulful. And thanks for the sub. No, what the heck? Wait, there's no way. Wait, Soulful? Soulful? I'm scared. Ohayo. Hey, Coffle Cat. Ohayo gozaimasu. Good emo. Namu, no, you're evil. Oh, sorry, hit the mic. Is she your girlfriend? Who's she? Regardless, no. No. What are you reading? It's in the title of the stream. It's called 5 centimeters per second, one more side. If you watched the movie, you might be familiar with it. It's like the same as the movie, but the first chapter was in the girl's perspective. The second chapter, I'm not sure. It seems about the same as the movie right now. Alright. Maybe the sky was just too vast. The sea looked so wide from the hilltop that I felt like I could perceive the Earth's roundness by staring at the horizon. This wasn't Tokyo's narrow but directive sky. In the 2 years I spent on the island as a junior high student, I became obsessed with gazing at the sea. Whenever I had time to kill, I would climb the Kamori Summit observation deck. I would strain my eyes to see that blur in the distance that was Yakushima Island. When I got tired of that view, I would go to the park at Cape Kadokura and take in the salty smell of the ride, of the tide. Centuries ago, a Portuguese ship carrying what would become Japan's first muskets had drifted to that shore. I would stare for hours and watch spots of clouds lightly covering the blue sky turn uneven shades of red. That's amazing. I love anime so much. I want to live on someone seeing the sunset. Yeah, I did enjoy the movie. Luffy saving the first person. Oh wait, I'm gonna go now. People say, yeah, have a good one. Sayonara. Bye. Where was I? Yeah, I was here. I also often visited Shimama Port. It was the perfect place to watch a sunset. You could even go fishing. The sun would begin to dip, while I amused myself watching merchant ships get unloaded. At the sight of the sun blazing like coal and sinking into the sea, I would feel mesmerized, as if the apocalypse had come. Thus, I made many places on the island my own. If I rode my bike early in the morning, I could smell the morning dew. When that morning dew evaporated in the hot southern sun, I could smell the grass and the leaves. If I rode my bike on the national highway along the coast, I could smell the sea. When I could smell the rain, there would be a sudden downpour in the evening. Burning rubber on the asphalt, I smelled all kinds of voluminous aromas come and go. Through those shifts, I confirmed that I was moving. I keep hitting the mic by accident. I had to keep going. I would have gone crazy otherwise. That was truly an island of various aromas. The color and atmosphere were so intense that they almost made me dizzy. Yo, wait, the Tao Makoto Shinkai, or the animation and the pictures basically in the anime are very pretty. In the movie, 5 centimeters per second, the sky was like, there was so many colors of like green, oranges, blue, whatever. It was very beautiful. And honestly, Takagi describing like this, it's also just as beautiful, I would say. Very nice. I sent Akari a letter describing my new life on the island. I wrote that I felt oddly relieved that the student body was much smaller than in Tokyo, with only 2 classes per grade. I said that Tanegashima surprised me. It was far more beautiful than I had expected. Then I went on about the island, about the vivid contrast between the red soil, the dark green mountains, and the fields that were a lighter green, about the starry sky I saw from Hoshihara, or starry fields, beach after sneaking out of my house in the middle of the night. The ancients must have looked up at the night sky and given Hoshihara its name. When I stood on the beach, I had an unobstructed 180-degree view of the endless sky and the sea. If the waves ever subsided, I might even see the stars reflected in the sky. Akari's letter had changed a bit ever since that wintry day. Her previous letters, melancholy nuance, which felt dressed up in fake cheer, now seemed to be fading. For the most part, she seemed to be doing well. After 2 quiet and fulfilling years, I graduated from junior high and enrolled at a high school 10 miles away in Nakatane. I mean, it's nice, because the movie was more like show and tell kind of stuff. Seeing the inner monologues of like both characters really makes me understand like what kind of characters, what they were like during that, how they actually felt between each other. In the anime, they were just like stone-faced emotionless, to be honest. Hey, watch the Juman, yeah. You're very nice to look at. So we'll get out. I'll be honest, like, I'm reading a lot of the wrong words, or messing up my reading a lot because of my glasses. Okay, I'm just gonna tape the frames together. Hold up. I'll get my old glasses and I need to take a break anyways. Blip. My butt. Alright. Nice shot. Let me go get my glasses. I'll try not to expose myself. What? That. This thing kinda got oofed. Let me just tape it back real quick, hold up. I'll be back. I'm glad the glasses do feel kind of weird. Let me read chat. Valerie, my imaginations, oi. Oh, dear, oi. Are you my blah blah blah? No, we just have energy. It feels good. I try so hard, but nothing matters. Interpret the hospital, oi. I mean, it's just away from a med pack and turn around just for Mofu to be standing there like a Grim Reaper ready to take my soul. Ooh. They sang with some, but the lyrics are different. Oi. Alright, Mofu, are we, do you plan on watching, or do we plan on watching? Hello World? I am interested. Let me just search up the, let me search up... If you guys want to. Oh wait, no, it's 7.5, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Well, you've already seen it? What the heck? Well, we can't do this to us. I feel bad, because most of the movies are just my suggestions. Oh, like months ago, I see. I know it came out a while ago. I'm gonna make it to a watch party one day. You do you, OG. What was fine with defeat OG and accept the victory as they turn around and see the final boss. Mime who attacks me with a devastating blow of kindness. Meeting an archer type, so I sound random. You're good, Selso. Yo, Makuya was so good. Finishing Makuya made me happy, depressed, sad, fulfilled, satisfied. Makuya was amazing. Oh my gosh. I loved it. No, I cried. The ending made me cry. I was so sad. Like, after after that, and after I streamed, like I was so sad during stream, or so chill. I went to play Apex with Fade and Koba, and I was so sad. I was so sad. Like I was just making calls on Apex, like I was just singing a soft voice, like, "Guys cracked, let's push. Last 2 squads. I got a shield here. You want this gun?" I said everything in just a soft voice. That movie was so sad. I loved it though. I loved it. Alright. Anyways, I taped up my glasses. It feels really weird because the frame isn't really like tight, but I'll probably just only use this for reading. Mofu, don't do this to me, Mofu. We're not watching Grave of the Fireflies. I can't. For the cat chips, true. I'll buy Nitro when the Dragon Ball Super Hero comes out. I want to go to the theater and stream it through Discord from my phone. I want to semi-pirate movies. Oh no, G. Oh, sorry, means as we all cry. Oh no. I haven't seen him already crying. Oh wait. Hey Azure. Hey, what the heck? You stop that. Alright, now I can read with better vision. Yeah, what the heck? So fu oi. Alright, I'm gonna read now. Back to reading. Deep down, I think I knew that my correspondence with Akari wasn't going to last. My letters to her were always pages long, and her replies were just as extensive. I wrote about both the important and the trivial things that were going on in my life. An almost competitive sense of urgency took over and forced me to line up hundreds of words. I imagine that Akari felt the same way. We were trying desperately to stay in touch. We needed to believe that we were connected through a special circuit, so we labored over our letters. But we couldn't go on tormenting ourselves like that forever. Burying my white stationery in words, I always felt the urge to claw at my desk in frustration. It was as if I had locked my greatest treasure in a safe that I was now unable to open. The experience we had shared on that snowy night, Akari didn't write a single word about it in her letters. She never even vaguely referenced it. I fully understood how she felt, because I felt the same way. I didn't write one word about it, either. We didn't plan for it to turn out that way. It was all we could do. That moment, what happened under the cherry tree was too ideal. That is all I can say. No metaphor can describe it. On that day, in that place, there had been a perfect moment. A moment of absolute purity. It had everything. Nothing more perfect could possibly exist. The moment bound perfection to a certain place. We couldn't bring it anywhere else. It was a moment that could never be put into words. Doing so would slice it up and preserve it, like some sort of specimen on display. We couldn't do that to the experience that changes forever. Forcing a description on the indescribable would only tarnish and degrade in its original brilliance, which was why, after that experience, I never told Akari that my letter to her had been swept away in a gust of wind on a platform along the way. On the last day we met, since we were going to be torn apart, I prepared a letter to tell Akari how I felt. I wanted to express in writing everything I couldn't say in person. In the end, the wind stole that letter, whisking it off somewhere. I'm glad about it. Linguistic expression is so inaccurate and crude. Words can't reproduce anything. I had seen the universe, to put it in metaphorical terms. The letter I wrote before that experience is The ancients believed that elephants carry earth on a plate. No way I could handle something so inaccurate as a representation of my feelings. I was genuinely shocked by the frightening accuracy of the tool we call language. Even though I knew they would never express my feelings, words were all I could send her. I could only try to feel as though her words on the other side of the stationery. I could only try to feel through her words on the other side of the stationery. Akadi's letters couldn't contain the truth's witness on that fateful day either, but I sought the remnants of that overpowering experience in our correspondence. I tried to stop seeking it, but I couldn't help myself. Not finding it wore me out eventually. Not the first few years in Tanegashima. Part of my daily routine was to check the mailbox on the way to and from school. No, it was more of an unbreakable habit than a routine. What the heck is going on with that? You are sus. I waited for her letters, as if I were clinging to them. Whenever I found a letter from her in my mailbox, a sort of helplessness also snuck into my joy. Truly, that moment, no matter how far I reached, I couldn't retrieve what I had so clearly held in my hands. I tried to put it into words more times than I could count. Yet, whenever I went to write it down, it always turned into something else. I felt hopeless. I'm sure Akadi did too. If she wrote one more word, she would enter uncharted territory. After much hesitation, as if suddenly falling silent, she would halt her pen. I would sense that at least, and sense it profoundly. I knew that feeling well, the limitations of words, like being at the edge of a cliff, unable to move forward. Even if you tried, your mouth would move in vain, like a stereo with muted speakers. The CD turns, the music plays, but no sound is coming out. Then, one day, we gave up on trying to share that special feeling in our letters. Just like that, they turned into a mere report of events, losing all of their depths and profundity. We were merely exchanging words on paper. And then, our correspondence came to an end. When it became clear that I would no longer be sending or receiving any letters, I felt oddly relieved. Out of that ephemeral relief passed, and the deep colors of reality painted over Akadi's lingering presence in me. What silently crept in was a hollow but refreshing feeling that I may never wish to be understood again. This is sad. You're so full, no. It's kind of tough. I'm not sure if y'all had like similar experiences. You know when you like make online friends in a game, you kind of like guys back then. You didn't like friend each other on Discord or whatever, like in a guild or like a faction or like a clan. You log in, say hi to everyone. You log in, say hi to the chat or to like the guild chat, talk, and just chill there. And you do that every day as you do dailies on that MMORPG or whatever. But then eventually people like come and go, people stop logging in, they stop saying hi, and then you eventually leave. I say guilds in MMORPGs because that's probably the most relatable. But like just online friends in general, or like Discord servers, it's like a thing too. Or like you kind of like, you start talking less and less. Like after like when you first meet or you first join, you talk a lot, and then after like a phase, like a month, a week, like that honeymoon phase, you talk less and less until like you kind of stop showing up in that place, where you eventually just lurk or you just leave forever, and you move on to like the next stop in your life, and that's normal. I mean, it could be normal. I'm pretty sure everyone has like experiences like that. It happens. And you know, that's fine. Especially here, like I say that every time. I say that every time here. Y'all don't need to be here. I'll be here regardless. That's why I try to say I don't miss any of you guys, or I won't miss any of you guys, because I don't want anyone to feel obligated to be here. I'm just here. I'm just chilling. But then there's like those deeper relationships, like again, a long-term relationship, or like a classmate moving away and you try to keep in touch through emails. Like it just becomes more bothersome and bothersome. And just both sides just suddenly stopped. Just stop. And once that does stop, you do feel relieved. Like you don't like it becomes a chore or responsibility that you don't want, and you don't have that anymore. And after that relief, you feel regret or guilt. Maybe, I don't know. And it was a Takaki here said that after having that deep connection with someone, and then for them to leave and like to just fizzle out like that, you kind of don't want to like put in work to have another relationship with someone, right? You don't feel like being understood again because you're scared you're gonna get that the same thing's gonna happen again. Right? Those like memories just become memories. Alright, let me reach out. How do you feel about long distance relationships? Like in general, right? Not romantic. In general? It's kinda I would say the same thing. I talk about long distance and close. Or relationships just like with people nearby IRL. You need a reason to hang out. You need a reason why you two are friends, or like continue why you guys are continuing to be friends or to hang out. Unless you known each other for a while, like whether it's like through a club or a school. But like as for a new friend, like unless of course like you join a club, you need like a similar hobby or similar like interests to give a reason to continue meeting up and like being friends. Like the two of you like board games, so you like meet up every week playing board games, and that's how you keep in touch, and that's how you don't forget each other. Or sports, soccer, whatever. Just go to the park, play a bit, and because you meet so often, you just don't forget each other. You learn about each other more, and you enjoy each other's company. But if you don't have that interest, like you just meet once, just you try out something, but now you're not interested anymore, or not interested in that the next time you do it, so you don't really want to meet up anymore for that, then there's no reason to meet up again. For a long distance relationship, I think it's much easier with like today because of like the amount of mediums we have, like Discord, Snapchat, like other social media stuff, and like messaging apps. Very easy. Like it's very convenient to just like Discord, a bunch of servers and everyone's there, or just any social media app and just like chat with people online. Just say whatever. And it's much more easier to find someone that has a similar interest than you, as opposed to real life. Because in real life, like let's say classmates, they probably, you're not sure if they have a similar interest as you, or co-workers. Like everyone is very different. If you go online though, there's so many communities, you just join in, and you'll probably find someone very easily that's pretty similar to you. Like for example, like Twitch. I'm pretty sure most people who join here are like for the chill vibes, right? Just to like chill and relax. So those people come to a place, maybe here, maybe I don't know, and they just, I wouldn't say befriend, but like just acquaint each other like that pretty easily. And like each other. Relationship piece of convenience? Got you? I feel like a lot of relationships are built off of convenience. New ones at least. Cause it's kinda hard to commit to a relationship, especially a new relationship when you don't know the person, if it's inconvenient. Like why are you trying so hard for that person who you just barely know? Of course, there are reasons for that. Because you like them. Like love, maybe. But I feel like convenience... Well, it's kind of hard to equate it to convenience too. Because convenience is something very easily solved. It's not convenience. in this world, because we can just message each other anywhere. If both parties put in enough effort, convenience is not a problem at all. If you're thinking about convenience in the first place, then I don't think that's a healthy relationship. I would just say similar interests, hobbies, and or just willingness to listen to each other and just liking each other's vibes, I would say. But what do I know? I don't know many people. I don't really have a lot of that social mingling experiences. But I understand. But now, if we're talking about romantic relationships, that's different. Because you have different motives when it comes to romance, right? As opposed to befriending. Because everyone has, I'm sure everyone has like different motives and interests when it comes to their view on romance and why they want to get together with someone. Or befriending is much more general. I think befriending is much more universal. While romance is kind of differs from person to person. Sorry, let me chat. I'm sorry, when I talk about this stuff, I just close my eyes and just rock back and forth. So I don't really read chat. Okay. Oh, along this because y'all see in my heart. What the heck, Sofu, you little. And welcome back, Sarah. And hey, Olivia, hello. I love when before we could always be had. Oh wait, you're too nice, I'm not nice. You pick up my husband doll at the 7-Eleven around the corner. There's like this convenience, it just helps each other grow. I mean, everyone views relationships differently. For me, I just want to be happy in life. I just want to be happy. If you make me happy and I make you happy, I think that's perfect. That's all I need. I just think very simply, like relationships. You know, ring singles girl, yeah. Or casual. You know what, OG, you're so true. Are you trying about relationship? Kind of like both romance and just in general. Thank you, friend. Wait, don't call me friend. I'm kidding. I mean, if you want me to, but I'm not your friend. I'm no one's friend here. Okay, that's a lie. I might be some people's friend here. But don't think of me as a friend. I think that's for the best. I think you should just think of me as... I don't know what you would think of me though. What you mean, bestie? I don't know what you should think of me as. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm just saying that maybe one day I might like just have a sudden impulse to just get off social media, quit Twitch all of a sudden without saying a single word, because I'm not used to being vulnerable, or I'm not willing to share my stress and other stuff with y'all, and I just leave all of a sudden without telling anyone, and then you feel that sense of betrayal, right? I don't want y'all to think that. I don't want y'all to feel like y'all need to be here. Just treat me like entertainment. I don't know. Anyone has parental figure? Why? Relationships should be mutually beneficial and both growing together better. That's very nice. That would be very nice, huh? But relationships that aren't mutually beneficial, it's only one-sided. I'm pretty sure there's a reason why it's like that too. Of course, it's not unhealthy, but some people might need it like that. Not just romantic relationships in general, just relationships in general, yeah. Some people just need one-sided ones. No, mine. I'm saying that it's not good to have it all to myself, but I wouldn't share it to random strangers online if it's like something like super serious and could potentially dox me too. I would only share it to like my close friends, maybe I know IRL, for them to help me physically. I wouldn't do it on stream online, and I would probably just go in like just go undercover or just end stream, stop streaming for a bit without saying anything. That's what I mean by like bringing me as a friend is puts a strange responsibility on me. Yes, we are nasty. I'm sorry. I do think I'm not gonna lie. I do think of some of you differently though, because like outside of streaming, I'm starting to know some of you better, and maybe that's what friends are. Yeah, you're right, man. I'm doing fine, Kaiser. Just chilling. God dang, it's so funny. Oh, that's really funny. I'm so sad my house burned down at 101 10th Street. Boy. Hopefully might leave Twitch paying. No, I'm saying that hypothetically. I don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm a very happy person and easily satisfied. In fact, I already told y'all my only stress. I already told you like my only stress in life. I already mentioned it on stream, but it's nothing super duper serious. But I'm a very carefree person. More people checking. Hey senpai, hello. Alright. Oh, you stopped that, Kaiser. I can mention it again though. My only stress in life right now, probably the only stress until like for several years, is my father's inheritance money, life insurance money, whatever money you get from when my dad passes away. I don't care about money. I don't want it. It's just the fact that my relatives coming out of nowhere, from underground, parachuting from the sky, knocking on the bathroom door, just appear out of nowhere and start befriending my dad out of nowhere. I haven't met these relatives in my life, and suddenly, when my dad's now kind of old and got sick, like a year ago or a year or two ago, all these relatives come out of nowhere. I didn't think second about it, but then my dad actually had a one-on-one conversation about me with the money and how that he's gonna split it with certain people, and I was like, huh. You never talked to them like for so long in your life, and they suddenly show up and they convince you get your money. I wish I can just take that money and burn it all. That's my only stress. I hate money. I need to live. Alright, let me chat. Lawyers and other help with contingent. What the? First season was a clean idea. Dang, I talked a lot. Just rambling on. We should go back to reading. There's gonna be 2 more reading streams because I'm just so slow this stream. I'm actually finishing my milk within 2 hours at least though. I just don't think about money, RL. Any problems? Wait, about the money thing, Wolfo? When are you finishing the book club? I wonder. Oi. What the heck, Kaiser? Yeah, money is whack. You can't blame them. I mean, I can't. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's an easy way to just get a bunch of money. and it will make their life so much easier. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not fighting for it either, because I don't care. It just annoys me. That's going to people like them. I don't, but what do I know? Maybe they need it. They actually do need it. I don't think they do, but what if they do? I don't know them. I don't really care to know about my relatives at all. You're a good OG. Bop. Sorry, I'm just thinking about what the heck. I'm just blanking on thinking about stuff. Yeah, some people are just more unfortunate. I'm very fortunate. I'm living very comfortably. My parents get old. They are very old right now though. They retire. I take care of them in this house. And this house is just... it's what they said too. They said don't sell this house, it's gonna be your house. It's not that big of a house though, but it's very comfortable. Living here, having lived here all my life. Like, if there's a difficulty in life, my life is probably in easy mode. Of course I'm not rich, but I'm just comfortable. Comfortable middle class. Music's calming? Yeah, it's from the movie of the book we're reading actually, Sarah. It's the ending theme. Ooh, Kaiser? Kaiser actually makes people toxic? Huh? Oh, I saw it. Same here, Kaiser. That's why I don't talk to our relatives anymore. Dang. This stream is sad. Yeah, we're gonna be reading even more sad stuff too. I should probably go back to reading. Y'all got me thinking about stuff. Alright, I need to think of happy thoughts. Tomorrow's gonna be a Poggers movie. You gotta think about stuff like that. Alright, no more sad stuff. Oh shit. We're gonna read. Continue reading. Thank you all for listening to me ramble. Good vibes? Okay, I know about good vibes. Because this book is also kind of sad. Burp. Pero we'll try to come up with a joke, boy. But yeah, I'm very, very happy. I'm very fortunate. Okay, no moss though. Get away from me. No physical contact. When I started living on the island, one of the things that surprised me was that all of the high school kids rode scooters and motorcycles to school like it was nothing. When I passed by the library, I often saw a petite motorcycle in the parking lot facing the national highway. A girl in school uniform and sporting an open-faced white helmet would come out of the library, straddle her motorcycle, give the ground a practice kick, and speed away. Let me run the couch, I'm homeless. Hard cap OG. School had given her permission to come by motorcycle, of course. Being from mainland Japan, I found the idea of motorbiking to school really odd, to be honest. I still find it odd. While Tanegashima was quite large, there wasn't a single railroad on the island. Buses were also in short supply. Traveling by motorcycle might be convenient, but bicycles also seemed like an option. Or so I had thought. when I started cycling from Minamitane to my high school in Nakatane. However, I learned that motorcycle was an absolute necessity. It was essential for survival. When I first started high school, I had gone by bike. It was exactly 10 miles from my house to the school. I measured it out with a ruler and map. Seems like a reasonable distance for some daily exercise. People are always saying how the terrain here is flat. It should be a piece of cake. I was pretty certain. But after a couple of brutal weeks on my bike, I realized I had made a terrible mistake. Who the hell said Tanegashima was flat? To put it simply, people only thought the island was flat because it didn't rise to a mile above sea level like Yakushima. While it's only common sense, an island is a landform that sticks out of the ocean, so it naturally has more bumps and abrupt slopes than the mainland's plains. Ofu kicked me out of the wall? What the heck? Dang, Ofu ruthless. Hey Yutra, I ran a portion of the backyard. I want to become a plant. I was about to do. You'll be back tomorrow? No, she won't. I'm too lazy to set it back up. Get wrecked. Tomorrow's just gonna be an hour of Genshin Impact, I think. Yeah, there aren't Femfy emotes. I mean, there's no Femfy emotes. That's never happening. Oh, maybe I'll do it if I'm not that lazy. I didn't mind riding uphill when I was sightseeing. However, once those uphill treks became a part of my daily routine, my body and soul felt as heavy as lead. Right by the area between Minamitane and Nakatane was a depression as deep as a valley. Although a fantastic rustic landscape expanded beneath me on either side, it meant tackling a sharp, steep hill whenever I left or went home. If I hustled to make it in time for the morning bell, my heart and lungs felt like they might collapse from the climb. If I ever went full speed downhill without hitting the brakes, I would definitely lose control and either fall or crash into something. And that wasn't all. Strong winds from the sea slammed the island all throughout the year, finding the oncoming winds wore me down to the core. Even on the national highway, there was no street lamps or anything of the sort. As there wasn't a single house outside of town. The air became pitch black in the early hours of the night. I'm not exaggerating when I say pitch black. It got so dark that I couldn't tell where the road ended or began. The headlights on my bicycle were virtually useless. The worst part was that it rained in that darkness. Evening showers came like a clockwork as if someone were being spiteful. So I finally decided to call it quits. I crammed all night, passed the written exam for my motorcycle license, and asked my parents to buy me the Honda Super Cub, which was recommended by my school. My Cub was a small 50cc motorcycle, a scooter. I like Cubs. They have compartments to store things and a transmission that rapidly zips you uphill. Mine even had plastic fairings by the foot pegs to deflect the wind. My Cub was sturdy and practical, which reminds me, Kanae had recommended from the outset that I buy a Cub. I had too much confidence in my physical strength to listen to her. I don't need a Cub, I had told her proudly. Just use my bicycle, but I had to completely flip soon afterwards. The first morning I motorbiked to school, I ran into her in the parking lot. She had also come to school on a Cub. I told you, she said. No, Maiden, so no. I'll get some feeling we don't for fun. So, oh, you stop that. I talk about Cubs. There was an interesting light novel I read but never finished. It was very interesting because it was one of the first light novels I really come across as a kid. One of the first, I think, after Sword Art Online. Yeah, that's just like a type of motorcycle or something. I don't know, a brand. But no, it was about a high school boy and girl also traveling the world, or that was traveling the world also on a Cub, I think, or a motorcycle or whatever, moped. And what was it? It's like an apocalyptic world where everybody was slowly disappearing, kind of. By slowly disappearing, in that book, it meant slowly losing your identity and eventually just disappearing from the world. It's like Phantom Snap, but in super slow motion, and everyone forgets who you are. Like slowly, your government issued ID, your ID card will start losing information. Everything you've written will start disappearing, being erased. You'll be gone from pictures. Your existence will just slowly disappear from the world. And that would happen to like person to person. No one knows why. And when that phenomenon, that world-ending phenomenon was happening, it doesn't really focus. It does focus on the phenomenon, but it mainly focuses the slice of life, the daily life of a high school boy and a high school girl traveling the world in that ending world. It was very nice. I never finished it though. I only read halfway. Maybe I should finish it one. It's a very chill book. It's kind of sad. Wonder what's called. Let me search it up. I don't remember how they knew Sofu, to be honest. I actually don't. Nope, it's not Shinsekai Yori. I actually don't remember. Hold up. Oh, I found it. It's called Abe ni Deo Orobiku Sekai no Hate. On a journey, the sun is shining, the world is dying is what's called. The story revolves around a boy and a girl who travels through a world that is gradually nearing its end. A mysterious illness has emerged that erases the very existence of everyone who suffers from it. The story does not, however, focus on the tragic aspect of this fairly post-apocalyptic setting, but rather shows the people and events the two travelers come across their journey. Oh, it's called... Oh no, is there an English translation for it? Never mind. It's called Our Journey to the End of the Ceasing World. What the heck? Why does it sound so beautiful? Oh, everyone's interested. That's the title. Oh, get rid of the at the beginning. Whoops, my bad. That one. Or I could read it on stream too. The art's really nice for it. I like read like half of this when I was like 10 or 12 years old. I don't know how old I was. Man, I totally forgot that light novel. Reading this remind me of it. Wait, actually, if there's a physical copy I can buy, I'll read it on stream. I don't think there is, though. Yeah, I don't think there is. Yep, there isn't. No, there's no English version. Unless you want to read a Japanese version on stream. That's gonna take forever though. It's only translated in English online. But if I do read, I mean, I'll probably read another book after this one. I don't know when I will read a book after this one. Maybe pretty shortly after. Not sure what I'll read after this. Maybe I Had That Same Dream Again, Fireworks, or the Yoru no Sumino book. Reading Japanese on stream, there's no shot. It's gonna take me forever. I'm gonna like not know like a kanji like every other sentence, and then I'm gonna just search it up. And I'll know how to read it, but I won't know what it means, like the grammar. You try Final Fantasy? Nope, I finished it. It finished downloading. I'll probably just try it with you guys, maybe. Or I'll just try get used to controls tomorrow afternoon. But I'll be playing Genshin on stream tomorrow for like an hour. I need to do all the events. Holy heck. It'll be like learning all together? Maybe. No, we just need to find a time where we're all free, Nasty. Me, you, and Mofu. What's a good time? Because that's gonna be another long game. Yo, Mofu, you have Code Vein. Now we're gonna have Final Fantasy. You have Sifu. That's what you're playing currently. And you know what else is after that? You know there's Ace Attorney you wanted to play. Omori, you want to play Omori too, right? Tiny Tina, the Borderlands game? Well, fourth one. Is there a fourth one? There probably is a fourth one. I need to clear my abyss level too lazy while you stop that. Mofu, would you like to explain yourself? That's right, we better. Oh no, right, I forgot, Mofu. You're playing It Takes Two right now too. I'm kidding, I'm just teasing you, Mofu. You can play solo too? In that case, whenever me and Mofu are free to play it, then I'll just message you, Nasty, too. How about that? Whenever both me and Mofu are free to play, then I'll message you, Nasty. And if you're not free, then me and Mofu will just die on the game. Alright. I might stream it too, maybe, who knows. But usually we're... Shoot, how are you 2 hours ahead of us, Nasty? Usually we play at like 12:30? I don't know. 12:30 your time? AM. Or we could stream... Wait, no. Maybe stream it. It has to be during the weekend when Mofu is not working. Alright, back to the book. Yo, we only read like 10 pages this stream. Holy heck. You're 3 hours ahead. Okay, that's one... Oh my gosh, that's late. Wait, it's even later. It's even later right now, though. Care about time? Oh, you're insane. Alright. Should I just focus on reading now? Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. You know, even though Mofu already bought it, we just kick Mofu out and we just invite someone else. Mofu, good luck. Good luck beating the game on your own after beating after beating Code Vein. Oh right, there's Elden Ring. You already play Elden Ring too after. Mofu, you're done for. You have too many games. I mean, me, I don't have to worry about Pokemon. I haven't finished Pokemon. Alright, let's continue reading. Give me blue seed, then you can kick me out. I'm not giving you blue, what the heck? No. I rediscovered Kanae Sumida at the beginning of high school before summer when I was still riding my bicycle to school. I pedaled down the straight road from Nakatane High South to Nakayama Beach. The town broke off into nothing but empty fields on either side. I sped past a coin-operated rice polisher, rode up and down the low hills in the wood, and saw decayed motorboats lying up the streets. When I pressed on, the surrounding woods cut off all at once, and a beach suddenly came into view. There was a parking lot that faced the dock, which had concrete pavements, but I never saw any boats parked at the dock. No one ever used it, so no one was ever there. To the right of the harbor was a pure white beach that curved far into the distance. I scooped up the tiny grains of sand and watched them glitter in my hands. The ocean was vast, its colors was dark, and the shrinking undulations in the distance turned into fully white waves, which at times created small tubes that rolled onto shore. I never grew tired of gazing at the view, but I hadn't come to look at the sea. I picked up a heavy white stone from a corner of the parking lot, placed it in the sand, and sat on it to smoke a cigarette. No one ever came by. Too nasty, true. Also me getting carried on every game. Okay, no, we can't do that, nasty. The problem is, I actually, when it comes to, I think that's gonna be a hard game, nasty. And I would love it if everyone was like the same level and experiencing like the hard level at the same time. Or we could just wait until post game to do that, but that's like a me kind of thing. Of course, definitely play ahead if you want to. Just don't wait for me. I don't get it. I can just catch up whenever. But no way, we're not allowed to carry Mofu. When you play the Apex Mofu, you're gonna get every kill. I'm just gonna hurt them and you have to finish the Mofu. Back then, there weren't any weird Tasbo cards that served as your ID at cigarette vending machines. It was a blissful era where you could buy as much vending machine tobacco as you liked. I wonder how kids who went to smoke in high school are doing these days. I vacantly stared out at the ocean and fiddled with the sea. Fine weeds by my feet. Way out in the distance, I could see a body boarder paddling out to the open sea. Well, this is rare, I thought. Swimming is prohibited at this beach. While no one was around, it was a convenient place to practice. I wonder if the bodyboarder would be okay. The yellowish wetsuit was easy to spot in the water. The bodyboarder looked kind of small and was probably a girl. She fought wholeheartedly against the waves, clung to her board when they threw her back to shore, and repeated the cycle. She seemed too new at the sport to call her skills good or bad. Yet, for some reason, I found her moving. She seemed desperate, as if her goal was to paddle and fight the waves, rather than ride them. As I watched her keep at it, a strange sense of urgency welled up in me. I felt like I was slacking off, when I should be fighting like her. I put my cigarette and portable ashtray in my pocket and a cold rock still below my butt. Continued to gaze at the petite bodyboarder, then it hit me. Isn't that Kanae? I stared at the girl for a few minutes. It was definitely Kanae Sumida. She, too, had gone from Minamitane Junior High to Nakatane High. We were in the same grade, but had no classes together. There were only 2 high schools near Minamitane, so it wasn't odd that we had ended up at the same one. I didn't know Kanae surfs. Although this was news to me, I wasn't surprised. She was an athletic girl with a quintessential islander vibe, and it only seemed fitting that she was into water sports. Wait, I need to check how far. 165. Okay, we're not doing it. We're probably gonna do like page 100. I'll probably end at 130. Oh my gosh. There's no shot. Wait, I'm just gonna check 240 pages. I need to read 30 more pages. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on reading right now. I'm gonna hard focus on reading. Everyone's just chilling in chat right now. They're not really typing. Perfect time for me to just focus on reading. Alright, y'all. Everyone just leave. Don't talk in chat. I'm laser focused now. I will ignore every message. No, I'm kidding. But I'll focus. Enjoy. For a while, I watched absentmindedly as she tried to stand on her board, then almost immediately fell off, seeming to call it quits. She started back towards the beach. When it was shallow enough for her to walk, she began parting the water with her shins above the sandy floor, her bodyboard falling behind by a strap attached to her leg. That was when she finally noticed me and flinched. "Hey, I said, figuring that would be more natural to talk than stay silent. I didn't know why she looked like she had seen a ghost. She seemed mortified, as if I had caught her doing something embarrassing. Tono, she said, stopping where she stood. You started toward me, then stopped again, several feet away. She was still a little out of breath. What? Why did you come here? She asked, in between rough breaths. I just kind of stumbled upon this place. That was really the only reason. I didn't know you surfed. Well, Kanae interlaced her fingers in front of her. She seemed uncomfortable. I guess I had shown up at an awkward time. With apparent determination, she briskly walked up to me, stood next to me, and finally sat down in the sand. I can't call myself a surfer yet. I've only just started, she said. It sounded like she was facing down. She might have sat next to me to keep me from looking at her skin-tight wetsuit. My eyes politely turned to the white edges of the waves rolling to shore. The image of Kanae's unexpectedly slender legs stayed with me for a while, though. Isn't the water so freezing? It's so impressive that you come here straight from school to practice. Thanks. Do you practice every day? Not every day. I'm not impressive at all. I generally thought that her efforts were admirable. I didn't argue the point. She seemed upset with herself. I empathized with that feeling. And she might not appreciate lame attempts to cheer her up. Do you often come to this beach, Tono? Not really. I've only been here 2 or 3 times before. You don't say. I guess you're just as strange as I thought. Me? Why? People don't usually come here alone to watch the sea. I guess I see your point. Yeah, it's a little strange. Maybe she was right. People don't tend to randomly go to the beach and space out in real life. Even so, hearing a local girl call me strange made me a little self-conscious. I was pretty detached, and I didn't care how people viewed me. I felt alienated at the same time. It wasn't very pleasant. Bodyboarding's beautiful, I said. I wasn't trying to flatter her. I was just being honest. She turned my way. Yeah? You really think so? Definitely. Something about this is really stirring. It must feel nice to ride the waves, but even better to paddle out towards the glimmering sea. Oh, I feel the same. Hanging out to the ocean is the best. What's it like? It kind of feels like I got this, or 2 days a day, or something. I can't describe it all that well, but it's like, here it comes and almost there. The tension of going to capture that moment. Right, it's like that. Kanae's eyes were wide with surprise. How did you come up with that stuff so quickly? I don't really. I wish you'd always talk this much. I talk all the time. I don't know. I have this image of you, Tono. Even with your friends, I feel like you stop yourself mid-sentence when you have more to say. I guess. Hey, if it's okay with you, I'd like to watch you surf some more. I changed the subject. No way, Kanae shot me down. She practically recoiled. Why not? Because I stink at it. No, you don't. I'm different from you, Tono. In what way? In a lot of ways. This tangled mess, not easy to explain. If you say so. We weren't different. It was just that when the lines became crossed, I couldn't accept it. I couldn't admit it. Because I stick at it? Wait, yo, if Mofu ever says... Like, I know when Mofu, like, it doesn't do well in a game, or does bad at a game, which is, you know, everyone's bad at games in the beginning, or at any point. Mofu says, man, I'm so bad. Next time I'll say, you're not bad, you stink. All I say is more about great minds think like oi. Now is he leaving? Let me say something juicy so Luke gets distracted. I'm like, oh, get out of here, Soulful. Yeah, true, Wolful. You're not bad, you're just not good. What the heck? Alright. Back to reading. Blech. When Kanae was ready to leave the beach, I invited her to visit a convenience store with me. What? Are you sure? She asked, not making any sense. Since I'd invited her, I wasn't quite sure. Kanae told me to wait as she changed real quick, then disappeared into the thick brush of the coastal woods. I stood there momentarily, puzzled when a thought crossed my mind. How did Kanae get here? It'd be a pretty tough walk. Maybe by car? Before long, pulling a cub up beside her, she emerged from the dense thicket. She had changed into her school uniform and thrown a bath towel over her shoulder. I was more amazed than surprised that she would change outdoors. Leave it to the island girl. Tokyo girls could never even imagine doing such a thing. Kanae's natural fearlessness dazzled me. With me on my bike and her on her cub, we headed to a nearby eye shop. That's a Kagoshime convenience store chain, and it was the only establishment resembling a modern store, along the roads from Nakayama Beach to Minamitane. I like convenience stores though, cheap, laid back, and relaxing. As I pedaled at full speed and Kanae went slow, our paces almost matched. I was completely out of breath by the time we arrived. We bought drinks and made small talk on a faded beach outside the store. We talked about our new classes, our teachers, that kind of stuff. Kanae urged that I get a motorcycle. Still set on my bicycle at that point, I pretended I didn't need a cub, but deep down, I started having second thoughts. What bothered me more, though, was Kanae's observation back at the beach. That I stopped talking when I seemed to have more to say. I felt like she got to me where it hurts. Maybe I was weirdly self-conscious. Maybe my attitude did leave such an impression. I was blown away. Kanae, a girl who didn't stand out much at school or know me very well, had hit the nail on the head. If she had begun to occupy a special place in my heart, if she began to occupy a special place in my heart, then that might have been why. I'm for this, I'm for everyone. Are you leaving now, mine? Or are you just saying that? But regardless, grateful for you too. Wish you the best. Since that day, Kanae and I grew closer. We would wave or exchange looks every time we encountered each other in the hallway, and also in high synchro. When our other friends weren't there, we would stand around and chat. Honestly, yeah, Mom, you do you. On really rare occasions, when we got out of school at the same time, we also rode home together on our cubs, and well, that was about the extent of our friendship. Kanae always looked a little nervous when she was talking to me. While she seemed more charming to me when she was chatting cheerfully with her classmates, around me, she was a bit tense. I knew she didn't hate me. She didn't hate me at all. What I'm trying to say, and this might sound pretentious, is that she was crushing on me, maybe. The joy in her face when she saw me said as much. I made sure not to react in any way. In other words, I pretended not to notice until I put off dealing with it. But I did honestly like her as a person. I loved her energy. Her vibes always put me at ease. It had been some time since I felt that way. In any case, it was nice having a friend of the opposite sex I could talk to. I felt myself unwinding every time we met up. In fact, being around her showed me just how tense I'd been. Whenever I was with Kanae, I felt a little more comfortable. This is kind of rough. Because, like, you know, elementary school, middle school, high school, honestly just any point in life. If you just talk to someone of the opposite gender, people just like tease at it and like think that's like not a friendship. As in like friends between the opposite genders is not the first thing that comes to mind at all, and it's something instead is like you're hitting on them or crushing on someone. Not really a fan of that. It's rough. Like the concept of boys and girls being friends is an afterthought or something that's like rarely possible. Oh. Oh, with Taylor's for a Hendo game? What the heck? I mean, it's fine. I mean, teasing each other for it's fine. I mean, like, of course, if you like know the parties involved, it's just a joke. But it's hard. I don't know what else to say. And that when someone talks to you or you talk to someone of the opposite gender, both sides might think that maybe they have ulterior motives, just based on the fact that your genders are different. Yeah, kind of hard. It's kind of weird. Alright, let's continue reading. My father's job was going well, and the transfer seemed to be over. It seemed like he was going to work in Tanegashima until he retired. Whether I liked it or not, my roots began sinking into the ground. I could feel it. I was starting to get stuck. I kept transferring for too long, and you get into a habit of thinking that all places are temporary. You never let yourself feel at home. Even on the island, I had taken that stance. Just like I always had. Just like I had whenever I had moved. But my basic worldview was beginning to fray. I want to go somewhere, I would blurt out when I was alone, to my own astonishment. What the heck? Yeah, it's yeah, it's weird, I don't know. Did that just come from me? The kid who was raised as a nomad? Did I really want that? Changing residences or moving had always been something that was forced on me, not what I was supposed to want, and I always accepted it with solemn resignation, knowing that my only option was to knock down everything I had built up and to start again from scratch. Why did I want to leave? Maybe I felt frustrated at myself for gradually accepting the island as my home. I mulled over this for quite a long time. I thought about my vague desires. I want to go somewhere, probably contained the nuance of I want to go home. But where was home? I didn't have a hometown. I never felt a special attachment to any place, because I never put down roots. Where did I want to return? Had I left anything behind? For the first time in a while, I thought about Akari, but that neighborhood was no longer hers. That was no longer hers, couldn't be it. Then I had the dream. The heavens were inconsistent. A dull, enchanting light glimmered in a dark sky clearly not of this world. In the black-blue zenith floated a nebula, a faded burgundy, a faint blue pattern like dissolving paint. Toward the pattern, the wind blew thick white clouds that had a depth behind them. Stars sprinkled in the sky played peekaboo. Some of them loomed large and carved a blurry cross of light into the celestial canvas. Thin contrails spiraled up. This is such a beautiful paragraph, what the heck? These two paragraphs are so beautiful. Just below the firmament, two birds crossed each other and flew far into the distance. Starting from the zenith, my eyes traced the downward flow of the nebula against the indigo background. The color faded. It approached the horizon, transitioning from indigo to dark blue, from blue to the faint green of a coral lagoon. Light leaked in from below the horizon, very slowly but surely. The faint green was gradually eroding the deep night. The transformation seemed quite gentle, a kind light seeping into a darkness. It looked like I could squeeze the passing clouds. As I reached out to touch them, I could hear the wind. The undergrowth covering an entire hill swayed in waves. Right, I was on a hill. A view of the wildest sky and the farthest horizon. Maybe it was the center of the universe. Nothing here was man-made. Yet, everything was perfect. Two figures drew near, walking on the soft grass. They climbed the hill. I was one of them. The other was a girl. Rustling footsteps in the grass, we climbed to a certain height, then stopped. She sat on the grass. A white flower bloomed. What looked like a dragonfly fluttered its wings and flew away. The girl and I were enveloped in a clear green light. We stared up at the sky from the hill, the distant light green sky. I think I know exactly what this is, what this scene is. And what? But that was a dream in the movie? I don't remember. I know that's what teased us constantly, but I didn't have close enough friends to try to keep distance. If it ain't teasing, they gossip about it. I see. I had a really good friend. I got correct because of the jokes. Bad jokes because there's nothing more than this. Yo, I was in the back of the classroom reading books as a kid. Or in high school. I didn't do anything. Or I was only friends with anyone. Again, not a complaint. That's how it was. I did have some classmate or friends. But it was mostly me alone reading. And I enjoyed it. The wind flowed endlessly through the sky, the trees, the flowers, and the girl's hair. We watched. A giant spear climbed the horizon and revealed its entire dark blue form. It was a massive planet, leagues larger than the Earth's moon. I could even feel its gravitational pull dragging me in. Couldn't actually be a moon. This was a binary planet, I realized. The girl and I were standing on a planet that circled another, as if holding hands. We watched the fated partner unveil itself in the gentle light of dawn. Then, the sun appeared. A white light. Born just below the blue planet, the tiniest glimpse peeking out from below the horizon, transmuted the atmosphere. An intense, devastating force was released upon a once gentle world. It overwhelmed the blue planet and chased the stars back into the heavens. The hues of the light receded from the sky. You could see light pouring forth in every direction. The sun silently ascended. As it rose higher, its rays struck the ground, and our shadows darted behind us. The vegetation basked in the glow, and their colors deepened, basked in the glow. The sunlight pierced the thin, low-lying clouds from below, throwing their shadows into the heavens. An immaculate halo surrounded a perfect sun. I averted my eyes from its overpowering glare. I glanced down at the girl. The wind tossed her hair. My skin was sensate again. She was watching the planet and the sun perform their duet. Scorching rays beat down on my face and I stood up, but the girl sat protected in the shade. I couldn't see her face. With a flash, the white sun burst into reddish flame, a conflagration of orange. The landscape twisted and quivered under the blaze. A flock of birds flew into the distortion. I could no longer tell whether it was dawn or dusk. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic again. Man, that's a trippy dream. Really nice, beautiful handwriting though. Very beautiful writing though. Oh, let's go guys. Had some followers. Calling them followers though? What the heck? Hey, what do I know? Getting short talking too much? Oh no. Actually, it's an anime plot. I had one close friend from elementary to high school. We got along because we were both introverts and hated attention. So it's me in the corner with just another me. I see Mofu. What the heck? Al Quisher. Oh, I'm sorry. That's very funny because earlier someone came saying I love anime, and you come here saying I hate anime. Well, if you hate anime, this is not the place for you, my dude. Since just a bunch of weebs here, and we're reading a light novel too. Hey, wish you the best though. I was very nice and just chill around, but I had no close friends. I see. I ain't a weeb. Oh yeah, Mofu, you're not a weeb. There's something that starts with an F and ends with an I. It has 3 syllables, by the way. Don't make me say it, Mofu. Mofu's funny. I woke up in my room. The morning sun shone into the thin curtains. I washed my face, changed into my school uniform, skipped breakfast, and rode my club to school. No one was there yet. I went to the archery grounds and opened the shutters to the shooting hall and target area. I grabbed my carbon Hegel-Sozon bow and Duralumin arrows. I entered the hall from the left and readied my bow. The morning sunlight poured onto my feet. The red tinge that spread over the morning sunlight. The red tinge that spread over Tanegashima was much fainter than the light I had seen in my dream. I didn't have Kudo practice the morning of my dream, but had come anyway. I was probably trying to avoid confusing its images with the sounds, smells, and sensations of my everyday life. I don't even know when I had first had that dream, yet one day I noticed that it was reoccurring. I dreamed where I was with an unknown girl on a planet that wasn't Earth. I'd see a landscape so clearly that I could draw it. My impression of the girl was disturbingly vague. I couldn't tell who it was. It was as if only her presence was there. I think the landscape in my dream was roughly based on Tanegashima. You found broad hills like that almost anywhere on the island. but I never seen binary planets or discording suns with my own eyes. What in this world made me have that dream? In that landscape, I felt fulfilled. Never knew as well. Because I was annoyed, just not I see. What the start from the future? Yo. I've seen a piece of grades. There's so many festive tears. Whoa, what the heck? Unfortunate. I had everything I sought. All I wished for, but couldn't express, was forcefully etched into that world. Like, if I could go out there, I would throw everything else away. I wouldn't need my parents, my friends, a home to return to, or a future. Not a single thing. I love that place. I love what it was that imbued that place. Every time I opened my eyes and got dragged back to reality, I was beset by a sense that I was incomplete. I would take big gulps of water straight from the faucet until I was in pain. Then I realized that the back of my throat wasn't itchy because I was thirsty. It was because an important piece of me was missing. The dream was the missing piece that fit exactly in place. It was trying to tell me something. Some unknown part of me was issuing a threat. I'd better search for it. That self-warned. I would only ever wake up to empty mornings until I found and made it mine. Okay, this guy is downright horrendous. What the heck? He just sounds like a horrifically hopeless romantic. What the heck? I mean, it's really beautiful and all, but I'm cringing. I'm cringing like a good way, a good and a bad way. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, obviously, you'll keep these thoughts to yourself. You want to like share these thoughts. Well, maybe to your significant other or to your love. But reading these inner thoughts of someone is making me cringe. Hey, I probably have these thoughts too, as in during high school. I mean, now, actually, I guess now I don't really care. But in high school, I definitely had these kind of thoughts. Like that, just like special encounter, yada yada. So if there was a rat, I see that correct. No respect, nice. You understand what I'm saying? Unfortunate. You're cringing like I'm cringing more. During my high school life, it was always the other way around. It was always the students that were usually the ones that were kinda not really respectful. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, whatever, soulful. After I shot arrows until my arms were too shaky to grip the bow, I started typing out a message on my cell phone. I developed the habit of logging my dreams so I wouldn't forget them. The hazy nebula staining the heavens, the unnaturally beautiful light green of the low sky, and the warmth of a girl by my side, never more than an impression. I recorded every last bit of the scenery, from beginning to end, without meaning to, but quite naturally. I concluded with the question, who are you? Okay, I'm cringing. That was when I realized I was transcribing the dream so I could share it with someone. I wanted to tell something. Tell someone something. That strong desire to lay dormant inside me. Telling someone something, only that someone would understand. It was also vague. Who did I want to talk to and what did I want to say? I couldn't find the answers, like some dream I had forgotten upon waking. They lay beyond my consciousness. Done composing, I filled with my cell, and then like always deleted the message. It's such a hopeless romantic. I love it though, but I'm cringing. You can ban me on my own stream? What the heck? I felt nostalgic when I thought about Akari Shinohara. But that was about it. I had a daily routine, various matters to attend to. I had no choice but to think of her as belonging to my past, which really wasn't that hard for me to do. I was struggling to get through each and every day. I had no time to reflect on the past, and I sometimes felt a presence. Saw a figure in the corner of my eye, and would stop dead in my tracks. It felt as if someone's shadow or spirit was watching me from not far away. I would squint my eyes, but no one was ever there. Kanae shot me a puzzled look every time I abruptly turned my head and glared into the empty space. Shadow isn't the right word. It was no more than a breath of air. I only knew that the breath felt kind to me. Generally, I was regarded as a decent, sociable guy who didn't make any waves. A thin, invisible wall always separated me from my surroundings, but I built perfectly amicable relationships across it. A shadow was being cast into that gap, narrow margins of error that only Kanae seemed to register. I didn't know whose it was. I wasn't even sure that it was what it was trying to tell me. Who are you? I occasionally asked the shadow lurking in the gap, at the edge of my world when no one was around. Pretty gloomy of me, if I do say so myself. Although there was a few minor complications, getting a cub was definitely the right decision. With it, I could go anywhere on the island. A huge plus was that I could go to Nishiomote on the northern tip anytime I liked. The most developed city on Tanegashima. It was the only place I could buy anything other than necessities. You even had to go through its port if you wanted to leave for Kagoshima City. Now that I had a motorcycle, there was suddenly so much more I could do. My mindset changed subtly as a result. Greater reach meant more for taking. It was as if my arm had grown longer. I felt bigger. I've been granted greater freedom to take what I like. One time I spent an entire Sunday circling the island. I had done that on my bike a few years back, but this place was totally different. On my bike, I desperately followed the route suggested in my guidebook. With my cub though, I would go down any road. I went where I pleased, easily. It made life exciting. Maybe I'll get a car next. It was a natural thought. The next step? How far would my domain extend? Just the idea made my heart race. But then I remembered I couldn't leave the island by motorcycle or car. And my daydreams would always stop there. Oh, I messed up. I want to be wholesome this time. Does he fake low-fi out? Dang, unfortunate. Yo, the day when Mofu next host in my chat, I'm gonna be big shook. I'm just gonna I'll probably instantly rat choke Mofu. I was feeling blue. I would ride my cub along the seaside cliff road from the Hiroto ruins to the space center. The wind always felt nice against my body. The scent of the ocean was always refreshing. With extreme ups, downs, and curves, cars rarely ever took the road. In Kanto, street racers would always definitely made it their home. Track. While I wished my cub were more powerful uphill, when I looked to the sea on my left and lent my body to the cresting road, I felt like I had left behind all my troubles. If I got tired, I would lean against the flimsy fence along the cliffs and smoke. If I stared out into space for an hour, breathing as slowly as I could, my heart started to link to another channel. There's a few places on the island where I could be alone. Once, heading to such a spot, I ran into Kanae. Where was that again? She had already switched from bodyboarding to surfing, so it must have been after the summer of my second year in high school. She'd gone for the real deal, saying she wanted to stand on those waves. As the island's population density was so low, there were hardly any people where I hung around. I seldom ran into my classmates outside of school. Riding down a narrow road south from the center of Minamitane, I came across a familiar-looking club parked on the side of the road. It was Kanae's. Each cub wore dirt in a slightly different way, so it was surprisingly easy to tell whose cub was whose. I couldn't see her anywhere, so I decided to take a look around. I had been riding aimlessly and not noticed that I was near an elementary school. I couldn't see nor hear any children, though. The two-story building was made of reinforced steel, but in terrible condition. My favorite interest slice of what the? Hopefully, see a wholesome part. No, Mofu is not wholesome at all. Mofu insulted me so much today. It was so toxic to me. Unbelievable. Then it closed out. I went through the steel gates and trespassed onto the ground. I found Kanae right away. She was sitting, with her legs out, on a bench in a corner and staring into space. "Tono," she muttered distractedly. It was rare to see such a subdued reaction from her. Weird spot you chose, I remarked, ambling up to her. Yeah, I come every once in a while, like when I'm feeling worn out. Sounds like something I would do, I thought. I took what she said at face value and figured she must have been beat. I honestly felt sorry for her. A lively girl like her looking weary seemed so wrong. This, she announced abruptly, is where I went to elementary. You? Huh, you don't say. But now it's completely closed. Sure does seem that way. This time I got a good look at the building. The dark red paint on the stark concrete walls was almost entirely faded and peeling. The schools, you know, don't have bare concrete walls like this, do they? Can't say they do. It's because of the typhoons. It's too dangerous to put down mortar tiles. We just paint directly onto the concrete. Seeing my school all bleak and abandoned like this makes me feel really lonely. Elementary schools were being shut down and consolidated due to the area's declining population. But it hadn't affected a junior high transfer like me. A heartfelt recollection on the part of Morose Amorose Kanae, however, persuaded me that it was a serious issue. What the heck? I'm banning everyone. Banning everyone who defends Mofu. Mofu bonk. I'm kidding. Mofu's chill. Toxic though, but chill. You're lonely? I ask, all too directly. Yeah, Kanae admitted without ado. I mean, I was here for 6 years, from when I was 7 years old. I have a lot of memories of this school. It's so sad. It's sad to lose a place filled with so many. I see, I nodded, but the words that flowed out of my mouth next surprised me. I'm kinda jealous. Why? Because I didn't know what that feels like. I'm pretty much hopped from school to school my whole life. I don't think there's a single place I feel sentimental about. You don't want to go back to Tokyo? Tokyo? Why? It does seem like you want to go back. That's what people are saying anyway. I don't have any special attachment to that place though. But are you planning to go to college in Tokyo? Yeah, but not for any specific reason. Tokyo's pretty much the main hub of Japan. When in doubt, stay in the center. Wow, you're so decisive. I guess if that's what you want to call it. Kanae pinched and twisted her finger for a minute. I suppose she needed something to be moving while she was thinking, to remind herself that time was passing. Hey, how can I be decisive like you? What do you mean? I can't decide anything. They're deciding plenty, like deciding to surf and stuff. Actually, my older sister surfs, so it's just another hand-me-down. What do I want to do? Where should I go? I have no idea. You're saying you can't decide where to go to college? Well, not too, but you mean more in a general sense? Yeah, I think so. Which is why I'm panicking. Panicking? It's scary. What's scary? Not being able to make decisions because I don't know what I want, and also watching other people make decisions. This is so relatable. I hate this. Hey Joe, hope we're doing well. I speak fast from not being toxic at all. Lucy is saying about you. I'm stopping both you and Blue. Yo, this is so relatable. So, a lot of my friends would often ask me, like, cause I mean I do the same. I'm like, hey, how about you decide whatever you want. You do you. Whatever you want, and we'll do that. Whatever you want to play, whatever, blah 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 blah. And then they ask me, what do you want to do? Like, what will you? Like, I have a friend especially that would always say that always wants me to decide instead of them. And I sometimes get anxious because I always get to decide, and I just don't know if they like it, or my friend wants it that way, or if they like it. So, but I do the exact same thing too. Like, that's the reason why I want them to decide too. But then if I keep letting them decide, then wouldn't they also think the same way? Like, they're also not sure, like, well, how do they know that I'm also having fun or really want it that way too? So if that can be done mutually, like maybe you decide one day and I decide the other day, maybe that works for the best. But yeah, it's tough. I see, Sofu, I see. I didn't grow up with an older sibling. Relatability, yeah. So it sucks because I feel bad when I say whatever you want, because maybe they end up thinking that that I don't care, But I also feel bad if I decide to, because I won't sure what I choose is something that they'll like. Well, it's really weird. Just hand it off. Every other time. You pick, then I pick, then you pick, then I pick. Maybe that's for the best. Are you saying don't let me choose? True, you did say that one for Mofu SMH. But to be fair, I always say that to you, Mofu. I always say, whatever you want. I always say that to you, Mofu, and I feel bad. So honestly, you telling me to choose too also helps a lot. We need to switch every now and then. I emphasize to my... Yeah, maybe just take turns, maybe. That's right. Every time it's my turn, I'm gonna say, alright, we're playing Cold Vein. Because you gotta finish it. You procrastinator. I emphasize to my friend that I'm happy doing whatever. So if there's something they want to do, I'm even happier to do it. Yeah, you have to emphasize that too, yeah. Or emphasize. You have to emphasize it, yeah. Okay, I just need to read 15 more pages. Holy heck, I was on a reading spree. I'm happy doing whatever. True. The thing is, the problem is, I think a lot of the cases, you and your friend, I think both of you are like that. Or a lot of the cases is that both of you are like that. Both of you are honestly happy with doing whatever. Because as long as you're doing it with your friend, or you're just doing the activity or hobby with your friend or someone you enjoy hanging out with, it doesn't really matter too much what you play. So you both feel that way. And then you just can't decide. So no. I mean, most of my character traits changed a lot in the past year. I used to be such a happy person, social as heck. I don't want to do anything, I see. Horror movie? Nope. Let's go fishing? Okay, Joe. We're not that close for fishing. You have to raise my affinity points. You have to grind those affection points. Maybe if I'm at level 5 bond. I'm kidding. That's exactly it, yeah. It's tough. The problem is with me and Blue, we have so many games backlog, but we just end up like flipping a coin or just eeny, meeny, miny, mo everything. Oh, but sometimes, but Blue is kind of impulsive sometimes, so Blue sometimes feels like doing one thing or the other. But yeah, but me and Blue just have way too many games, and we just juggle around so many. Like after how many licks do max affection? Oh no, that actually goes negative, Joe. I'm at negative 500 right now. Like after It Takes Two, like me and Blue, like we have Biped, we have we have what is it? Mario 64 co-op. What else? There's also another one, Terraria. I'm gonna play Terraria, and then after that, Tiny Tina Borderlands coming out next week, and also we're gonna play We Were Here Forever, a co-op game that's gonna come out too. But you thought that's so cool. What are you teasing me about that? Oh, Mofu, this is not necessarily on stream, Mofu. You're different, Mofu. You're different. You're for streaming. No, I'm kidding. It's not too different. But the thing with me and Blue has to be there. It has to when both of us are free. But for you, Mofu, you're playing single player games, Mofu. I don't need to be there. No one else needs to be there. It's just you, Mofu. The only thing stopping you from playing it is yourself, Mofu. Did you speedrun Mario? Nah. Oh, okay, that's another thing. Okay, actually dropping stuff I like here. No. The one thing I love about playing co-op or games together with people, the one thing I love the most, it's not even just games, it's just experiences in general, is experiencing a completely new thing together with someone you enjoy being with. Like me and Blue, like Mario 64, we both don't really know what's going to go on about it. So we're both going to get into Mario 64, and we're both going to explore and fool around and just discover things and explore together, not knowing like anything, and just going in blind together with someone that's also going in blind with, and you enjoy being with that person. It's just a really nice experience. I hate you getting shot continuously. Get wrecked, Mofu. Hey, yeah, Mofu, how's that build going along on the on Code Vein? Are you done with your I don't know, one-hand sword build yet? I mean, if you get it down, the game gets pretty easy. Oh yeah, how's Final Fantasy 2? Aren't we gonna play it tomorrow? When you start tomorrow, Mofu? Oh, I sure hope we finish It Takes Two later today. What else? Oh yeah, Sifu. Hey, have you been practicing? How's the second level? I'm so sorry. I'm teasing Mofu so much. Mofu just disintegrating. Oh, I'm just gonna ignore what's happening in chat. I'm just gonna continue reading. Mofu, you're on your own. Sorry. Bye. I got what she was trying to. I got what she was saying. Finally, I could relate to her and sympathize with her. Not knowing what you want to do or become, not being able to decide, lacking the basis for it. What is the most valuable to you? What can't you let go of? What would you risk it all to achieve? She was stuck because she couldn't answer those questions. She didn't know why she couldn't decide. But her classmates made it look so easy. It might sound a bit cheesy, but Kanae had no dreams to dream, hence her panic. I knew exactly how scary that could be. Maybe I was making hasty decisions to avoid facing that fear. Our classes are probably just the same. I realized something. Come to think of it, it's normal for people not to know what they want. Maybe I just didn't want to accept that in myself, influenced by the mood, the media, and such. Our environment, society, in other words, says to hold onto your dreams, television, magazines, and fashion innocuously push the wonders of making your dreams come true. Everyone is convinced that having a purpose is priceless. Kanae was suffering from that belief. It's the same with surfing, she said. I only reached for it because it was close by. I didn't care what. I just thought, I might change if I try something new. So I had my older sister teach me how to surf. I see. I guess it's no use. I can't even stand on the board yet. Whatever it is, you need to have your life together to do it well. You know? It's not like I need to surf or anything. Maybe I should just give up? You absolutely mustn't, I interrupted. What? Sitting up straight, Kanae looked at me as if she had just woken up. You might know not where you're going, but that doesn't mean you won't make it somewhere. Just because you can't feel yourself moving forward doesn't mean that you aren't. What do you mean? Now she seemed confused. As long as you persevere, you'll arrive somewhere eventually, no matter where that might be. I think having the ability to say you did your best to get there is enough of an accomplishment. Even if you don't end up where you thought you would, moving forward is a victory in itself. By the way, Oman Shrine and the lake are right around the corner, aren't they? You know, the Red Rice Shrine? Huh? Oh yeah, what about it? A Tanegashima tourist spot, Oman was a shrine to the goddess of rice harvest. Near it was a freshwater lake. If you dive deep enough, you can swim all the way to a grotto on Matate Beach. What? No way. The lake and the grotto are connected? No, that's just legend. The only thing connecting them, actually, is our imagination. Wow, you surprised me there. How do you hear about that legend? What I'm trying to say is that sometimes things can connect in unexpected ways. When you look back on things, you marvel at how far you've traveled. And maybe where you ended up is the right answer after all. So just keep moving forward and don't stop. If you do, you won't go anywhere. Is your being kills me? What? Wait, no, stop, no, you don't do that. Have a good night, Kaiser. Bye. Also for Mofu about your backlog games. Honestly, you just do you, Mofu. However you like tackling it. Like you can just quit a game or you can just do it one by one. I usually like doing things one by one. So that's why I usually, when you ask me what to play, Mofu, I usually say Cold Vein. Because I want you to like finish games one by one. or get games out of the way. And I think you're closest to that in Cold Vein. Hi Kaiser, take care. Thanks. Yeah, I know. Okay, but talking about games, oh my god, I need to play Genshin Impact, holy heck. The 2 events are like 3 days away from an ending, or 2 days away now after, once it becomes tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll be playing Final Fantasy 2, I think, I don't know. Friends, bleh, bleh. So, oh my gosh, I need to book it. I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow just to play Genshin. This is down bad. I've been loving watching movies with y'all. I'm always so lazy to watch movies by myself, but then now that I have a reason to watch movies, I guess it's really nice. You want to finish another game at least? That's why we're speedrun Cold Vein. That's why I'm starting to like help kill mobs for you. I'm still not gonna let you have easy time fighting bosses though. You gotta suffer on the bosses. Also me forgetting where you go to. Always hang around? What the heck, Kaiser? You do you, Kaiser. Take care of yourself though. Or bruh. Meeting Mofu, now I actually do all my work early in the day so that my evening or my night is free. Mofu actually a good influence, what the heck? Yakuma's got my back, whatever. I'm a good influence. You sound so proud. Gosh darn it. Only for that one aspect though. But that you said it, whatever, dude. Where were we? Oh, I never seen you talk so much before, Kanae said, off topic. After looking stunned for a moment. I'm not all that quiet, okay? I talk when there's something to talk about. She didn't specifically agree or disagree with my outlook. I guess if cheering her up were that easy, her troubles would have been serious in the first place. Wouldn't have been serious in the first place. I'd never heard of that legend before. How am I only hearing about this from you now when I've lived here all my whole life? This is your hometown. Locals can see their backyard from a tourist's point of view. Of course I didn't voice that thought. I was beginning to sympathize deeply with Kanae's fears and anxieties. Too many people are careless when it comes to their goals, hopes, and dreams. Too many people ask, what do you want to be? I don't want to answer those fools. What the heck? You sound so pretentious. I don't want to answer those fools. I don't want to put my dreams into words. It's strange how people don't know what they lose when they put on ideas. It's strange how people don't know what they lose when they put an idea into words. That's kind of relatable. Why do they try to make me define something that only exists in vague terms? That's not relatable. Why do they want to destroy something so formless, so important by defining it? I started learning about video games so y'all were a bad influence. Also mean how Wolfie slack on the test. Wolf, we're getting slapped, you're a bad influence. Are you Nokia 360? There's a very complex one. Okay. You know what? You might be onto something, Sofu. They have no idea what true beauty is. Things of true value have no definite form. Oh my gosh, what am I reading? Those hostile ideas unfurled in my head. My own speech of Kanae made me anxious. I love it though, by the way. I love this book. It's just really funny. Had I accidentally said something fatal to myself? Would I eventually get somewhere if I persevered? What couldn't I let go? I hoped swimming through a dark water tunnel really got me someplace else. Would I actually be okay with not ending up where I wanted? Did I truly believe that? What did I want to choose? Nothing. I'd always known that there was nothing worth choosing. really admire my big sister, Kanae said. If I'm not careful, I might become just like her without even noticing. Is that bad? Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. It just bothers me. I don't like it when people compare us. I'm the only child, so I don't know how that feels. I do love my big sis. I just can't stand the pressure. After she graduated high school, she went straight to Fukuoka University. Got her teaching license, became a teacher right away, and then came back home. That's what I have to live up to. I even have to see her at school. Miss Sumida, you mean? Miss Sumida. A new teacher who arrived the same year that we entered our high school. I don't know why that was such a hard sentence to read. Well, we're keeping it a secret for now, but you never would have guessed we're sisters. Contrary to Kanae's assumptions, I already knew I had spoken privately with Miss Sumida on a couple of occasions. It was in the evening, not long after I had started my first year of high school. Wait, the camera's always on instead of... Wait, actually? Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Wait, I think it's good now, but I assume earlier it wasn't. Oh my gosh. Oi. I was riding my cub home when it unexpectedly stalled in the middle of the deserted country road. I repeatedly kicked the starter, but the engine showed no signs of life. It wouldn't even rev. I was quite far from home. As the darkness thickened around me, I tried to figure out my next move when a passing car, an old hatchback, pulled over on the side of the road. A young woman stepped out from the driver's side. "What's up?" she asked. "My cub isn't working." I see it's new," she said, examining my cub. "You sure it's out now, gas?" She spoke in a no-frills, straightforward manner. Everyone overestimates the cub's mileage. Most first-timers don't know when to refuel. I see it all the time. "I'll take you to the gas station and back so you can buy yourself some gasoline. Thank you so much. Are you sure it's not too much trouble?" "It isn't too much trouble." Just then I realized what I was speaking to. "Miss Sumida? Ah, I thought you were one of our students. I'm glad I was passing through. You carrying cash?" "Yeah, a little bit." Barely making sure I had shut my door. Miss Sumida stepped on the accelerator. The headlights beam chased off the darkness, so we continued down the farm road. Lindbergh's "I Believe in Love" was playing in the car. "The song takes me back," I said. "Huh? Yeah, it was really popular when I was young. But you?" Miss Sumida asked suspiciously. "It's nostalgic for me." "I used to do it too, but don't all high schools say that things are nostalgic without really meaning it?" "That's probably true. I lived in an apartment where this song sometimes played on the Lucen radio. The song and the view I had from the veranda are sort of linked together in my memory. I already lived before. Tokyo. And various other places." "Oh jeez, I can't even tell Alex apart anymore," Miss Sumida said, scratching the steering wheel. "Just a little while ago, I could tell the difference between a newcomer and a local in one try. Everyone's dialect is getting softer." We arrived at the gas station. After I borrowed a jerry can and filled it, Miss Sumida drove me back to the spot where she had found me. "It's not like there are any temptations along the way, so I guess just take care scooting home," she said through the open car window. Then, without any sort of gesture, she faced forward and promptly took off. Miss Sumida wasn't one to waste time. In fact, she hadn't even checked if my tank was really empty. I opened and refilled the tank and tried turning on the engine. It started on the first shot. Ash is in the... Oh, that's such a cute saying. Oh, Ash is in the house. Hey Ash, hope you're doing well. Enjoy reading? Yes, I will. If you need it, I'm like, yeah, take care, Ash. Wait, Ash was lurking during my show stream? Oh, I assume there's a comma between Ash and was, right? Alright, that makes more sense. I was like, wait, you're talking to me? Oh, thank you. Okay, in my time spent in chat was very much enjoyed it. Don't trust this tofu, Ash. This tofu mofu is very sly and evil, Ash. Werewolves commas exist? Oh wait. Be careful, Ash. Just saying. I ran into Miss Sumida again a few months later on a Sunday. I was eating lunch at a hamburger joint before going to Nishi Omote for some shopping. When someone barged into the wooden floor establishment, called out my name and took a seat across from me, it was her. "Are you on island patrol today?" I dreaded having to deal with her, of all people, but spoke as politely as I could. Oh no, I don't get paid enough to search for mischievous kids on my day off, she grumbled before ordering a coffee. Well, I was just passing by and happened to spot you, so I figured this was the perfect opportunity to get a good look at your face. My face? Yes. Why? What do you think? I had her think for about 5 seconds and answer came to me. Are you related to Kanae? That was fast, you're a quick guesser. Wait, so you are actually related? I was pretty shocked. Our actual relatives or sisters. A lot of Sumidas around here, around these parts. I thought it might be a bit hard to guess. She was right. And at that moment, I had never connected Kanae with Miss Sumida. Common sense also had to rule out the idea. A teacher wouldn't be working at a school that a family member would attend. That's pretty rare for a public school, I remarked. Dang, wait, did Ashbury leave before I exposed Mofu? Dang, unfortunate. Maybe next time. I didn't have a choice. There aren't a lot of high schools on the island. On the mainland, I'd be transferred in a heartbeat. For now, we're just hiding that we're sisters, but we're not going to deny it if someone pointed this out. I then carefully put out feelers on me and Kanae. I hope there hasn't been any sort of misunderstanding about. None, don't worry, Miss Sumida said with a wry smile. Long story short, this one time when Kanae came home late, I noticed a certain boy had made sure she'd be safe. When I secretly peeked out at his face, he looked very familiar. She openly admitted to using her teacher privileges to check the roster and find out my name. I remember that during my visits back home when I was in college, Kanae used to talk about this kid who had moved here from Tokyo. She's so easy to figure out. It's almost impressive. It seemed that there was a misunderstanding. After all, I felt uncomfortable deep down but kept quiet. My name must have come up in various other households when I first transferred in. Around these parts, people lived in a frightening small world. A fresh chill ran down my spine. Aren't you thinking, well, you stop that mofo. Hey, Lynn. I hate it here, I'm set. Are you talking about here specifically? I'm sorry to hear that, though. Take care of yourself, though. Hope things, get better for you. Oh, I'm sorry, Lynn. Were you convinced I was that boy when you saw my face? Well, I thought it's neither here nor there. I guess it did satisfy my curiosity. Then we might ask you something. Not at all, what's up? How do you become a teacher? You need to go to college and get a teacher degree. Have you already picked teaching as your vocation? You enroll in the education program at your university. Recently, it's tough to find a teaching job without a master's degree. It also has a lot to do with which college you graduate from. You should ask your guidance counselor about it for more detailed information. So, you want to be a teacher? I don't think so. Nobody asked, just for reference, I guess. Miss Sumida tilted back her head a little. Perhaps you take a long look at me. Isn't there something else you want to ask? I ended up feeling intimidated by Miss Sumida throughout high school. This was the exact moment that did it. She was the toughest cookie I had ever met. I couldn't handle much more of her seeing through me. You went to Fukuoka University, right? Why did you come back to the island after graduating? That was what I really wanted to ask. Did you plan to work on Tanegashima from the beginning? Actually, I didn't. It just kind of happened that way. I would have stayed in Kyushu forever. Why didn't you take that opportunity? After pausing to think, Miss Sumida quietly continued. Because my relationship fell apart. If it hadn't, I don't think I would have come back. My mouth hung half open. I was at a loss for words. I was stunned that she could fairly offhandedly share that personal detail with a young student like me. Maybe I felt flustered because she seemed to be trying to warn me in some way. I guess you could say that we marched to 2 different beats, Miss Sumida said, not sounding particularly solemn. Her tone hadn't changed throughout our conversation. If a relationship is only about the now and can't proceed, it's not going to work. It's over. When you can tell that it's a lost cause. At the time, I hadn't taken charge of my life. I didn't know what to do with our relationship. The story was too real for a boy in a provincial high school to fully understand. But you don't know what that feels like, do you? She asked, sensing my confusion. It's like 2 passing trains, I blurted out. I had no idea why I came up with that metaphor. Passing trains? In other words, 2 trains that are going opposite ways on parallel tracks. They're perfectly aligned for a moment, but the moment only exists at that one time, in that one place, and can't be taken anywhere. Miss Sumida looked at me with a glint of surprise in her eyes. I can't explain well, I said. Do you realize? Much less than I used to. I think you're talking about something a little bit different. But still, it's weird how that memory just came out of your mouth. It's kind of creepy. It's not like the kids in class think you're weird or anything. They do, though. No, not for a fact. May I finish asking my question? Sure, go ahead. Oh yeah, Loafer, tell me to start on a new build before finishing True Ending Uncle, or just after it? It doesn't matter either way. It doesn't matter? I mean, technically it doesn't matter, Mofu, but I thought you're not gonna play anymore after the True Ending. You're just gonna play it once. I don't think so. Wouldn't there not be a point to build it after the ending? Because you're just gonna play it once. And I just hit the table. Whoops. Wait. Well, yeah, it is. It's a reading stream every Thursday night, Friday morning. Oh, all the places in Japan. Do you specifically choose to work on Tanegashima because you were used to the lifestyle here? Or do you feel like there was something on this island that I couldn't find anywhere else? I think I expected her to say the latter. I guess I did it to convince myself that all places are the same, Miss Sumida answered. Thinking there's something else out there is basically just a fantasy. I suppose I tried to confirm that. I couldn't wait to get off this humdrum island when I was your age, though. She also happily added that working on the island meant that she could serve. Then she muttered that hadn't been anything to tell a high school kid whose whole future was ahead of him. Oh, you still want to play it after? Oh yeah, then Mofu, just do whatever you want, Mofu. Of course, doing it early will make it... Oh wait, shoot. If you do it after Mofu, make sure you don't start a new game. Or start New Game Plus. Because some of the stuff you need to build... I'm assuming at least, some of the stuff that you need to build for the build requires like special dungeons or special areas first. So make sure you got those stuff collected. And if you start a New Game Plus, then you know you have to beat the game again or get to that point again before you can unlock that area. You can unlock that spell or unlock like the blood code or whatever. Is this part of the book being included to show the moving on? Yeah, they never showed. Yeah, they never showed the teacher in the movie. It was really just about him meeting like the surfer girl, and just like his like small relationship with her, as in like meeting her. But if you're talking about this part specifically, Sofu, I'm not sure. I want to talk about moving on. Maybe it's just someone with like just asking an adult's experience and like coming back to like a hometown after like the events of her life, and I guess just relating it to his own experience. Maybe, I don't know. But if you do it now or before the final boss, or it might make it much easier, Mofu. Honestly, the final boss is not too hard in my opinion, but it's not that hard in my opinion, but it's it might do peanut damage. It's your choice though. It's so specific. I was so trying to remember. I see. Do you surf? I can teach you. Actually, I've got my hands tied with my club right now. Archery. You even researched that about me? Well, I haven't asked a single thing about Kanae, Miss Sumida pointed out casually. She polished off her lukewarm coffee, then said that she had one last round for me. I won't tell Kanae about today, I preempted. See, that's exactly what worries me about you. Miss Sumida excluded up both her receipts with a frightening ease and stood up. By the time I noticed what she was doing and shot out my hand, the 2 slips of paper were securely in her possession. As I sat there baffled, she promptly paid our checks at the counter and breezed out of the restaurant. I stared and sulked for a while, upset by Miss Sumida's finishing blow. The problem, probably, was that my reach was far shorter than I hoped. I'm not sure what that really means. Maybe doesn't like how mature he tries to act. I'm not sure. You found your winner lose? I saw him winning this whole time. Oh, we lost. I need a trip to the hot springs to feel better. What the heck? Get out of here, Mofu. And Sofu. Besides my random encounters with Miss Sumida, most of the days leading up to my final year of high school were pretty uneventful. As usual, I shot arrows in the morning, headed to class, practice again after school, went home, and studied as much as I thought was necessary. After continuing the cycle for more than 2 years, the summer of my 18th year arrived. In the early mornings before anyone else was at school, I would open the shutters to the Kyudo grounds and shoot arrows at the targets. It felt nice. With no one watching, I could have easily flew around and just shot off some arrows for fun. That kind of hot horse play was popular at the time. But instead I moved exactly as the Kyudo principles dictated. For a moment I entered the range until I exited. Letting my body do the rigid shooting forms was oddly enjoyable. I felt like I was eliminating my physical noise as an organism, discarding the visual quirks that amounted to nothing, and optimizing my very being. It was like sharpening a pencil. I was honing my dull parts. If I had to name any issues, well, I was horribly mediocre in the accuracy department. I shot to hit, I was often told, meaning that I was too focused on the outcome. It wasn't something I could fix on my own. As I practiced alone in the early mornings, Kanae occasionally came to watch. In the course of chatting with her, I let down my guard and opened up to her about that and other things. Every now and then I had a dream. The dream where the girl and I walked on a pale green field. Why was it never daytime, I wonder? We would climb that hill, the soft ground beneath my feet, the sound of our shoes parting the grass. It all felt real. Insects fitted. The wind blew. The girl's hair danced in the breeze, and when it clung to her cheek, she brushed it away with a slightly annoyed gesture. The landscape felt completely natural. But we weren't on Earth, that much I knew. Undiscovered constellations, a plethora of stars, an ancient looming sun. The night sky always glowed with the light of countless purplish nebulae. Get wrecked, Mofu. When I woke up, I realized I had never seen the girl's face. In the dream, I could feel her very breath. Yet, I didn't know who she was. I also never considered the question while I was dreaming. Getting out of bed, I would pick up my cell phone from my desk, go into email, and jot down the contents of the dream. Once I was done writing everything I could remember, I pressed delete. To erase this message, the confirmation screen would ask me. A feeling like a prayer flitted through me every time. Although the message was deleted, it felt as if I had sent it off to nowhere. I was hoping it would travel through a supernatural circuit and arrive someplace. The Kyudo club adjourned for the day. I stayed behind to shoot some arrows by myself. I was packing my things in the parking lot when Kanae approached me. Are you done with practice, Tono? Yeah. What have you been up to? I just came from the beach. My sister drove me back in her car. You're really giving it your all out there, aren't you? I marveled. I imagined Kanae had spent another afternoon tirelessly pushing through the waves. What? Oh no, not really. She flashed a shy smile. Wanna ride home together? Sure. We got on our cubs, started our engines, and proceeded through the school gates at a leisurely pace. Just past the fire station at the end of the road, the residential street merged into the national highway. Turning at an intersection, we headed down the community road to Minamitane. We nodded to each other at a stoplight and went down a side road to the eye shop, our usual hangout. It became a routine to buy something there and chat whenever we rode home together. Crouching in front of the drink section, Kanae pressed her fingers against the chilly glass and carefully contemplated her choice of beverage. I was somewhat conscious of her pale shoulders, petite frame, and thin neck. Her unguarded demeanor, right there below my eyes, aroused something inside me. I really thought to take right ammo. No, please. Oh, no. That's not it. The Saiyan Day banner of Dokkan's job on you. I'm about to go wrong. No, gee. I was going to make a comment about the fucking that was. Get wrecked because he's reading. Mofu better RNG. I was somewhat conscious of her pale shoulders, petite frame. Wait, where that? I didn't care which drink I bought. I didn't want to waste time picking one out. So I grabbed my usual coffee carton from Dairy, a local business. The same one again, Tono? You know, you always look so serious when you're picking one out. Well, yeah, super important. I'll meet you outside, I said. I paid at the register and exited the store. Kanae probably took that tiny detail to mean that she was always hesitant, while I wasn't at all. My meaning, however, was that I lacked the drive to seek out what mattered to me, where she was the opposite, which is why I thought she was wonderful. She's adorable, and sometimes even felt envious. Outside of the store, I found a bench labeled with an ice cream logo and pushed my straw into the coffee carton. Kanae came out of the shop and sat next to me. She felt incredibly close. The fabric of her swimming rug grazed my arm. Someone's warmth right there next to me is a nostalgic feeling. It almost melted my heart. Just then, a thought flowed across my mind. Well, Kanae is the girl for my dream. Wouldn't it be great if it were true? Cringe. No, I'm kidding. It's really cute. The thing is, it's kind of weird. When it comes to reading love stories, or romance stories, because when it comes to romance, or you and your significant other, it doesn't really matter what other people think. What matters is what you and the other person thinks. So whatever you do is cringes to others, it doesn't matter because it's your own little world. What matters in that romantic relationship is just you. It's you and them. And you just do whatever you want that makes you happy. It's your own little world. The problem is, when you read a romantic story, you're like intruding on them. It feels like you're intruding on them, like you're stalking them. You're like reading their thoughts. You're seeing that cringe interaction between the two lovebirds, and I'm just making my hands are cringing. I'm not projectile. I can step myself. What the heck? Will I be stuck on that island forever? Will staying there ever mean anything to me? I tried to talk to Kanae about it on many occasions. I desperately needed to talk to someone who might understand what I was going through. Yet every time I tried to bring it up, I was stunned by my inability to express myself. No matter how hard I tried, the thin wall wouldn't let me. My formless thoughts refracted around me. The world rejected me past a certain point. I still didn't want to deal with Miss Sumida, or Miss Sumida. I stayed as far from her as I could, but I ended up having one last encounter. Since I was in my third and last year of high school, I had begun career counseling, which is where students meet with an advisor to talk about their future. The counselor just so happened to be out on urgent business that day, so I wound up with Miss Sumida. Wait, how close is the other? Sure, I'll read till 142. And I'll end stream. And think y'all will be like this? Yo, let's go. Wait, sorry, just checking something real quick. Alright. Sorry, that's Blue message me saying that I'd never do play with Mofu ever again. I'm kidding. I'm thinking about attending college in the Tokyo area. I expressed my vague hope. You mean you're not set on a specific school, but on being somewhere in Tokyo? She said, twirling a pen. It's not about getting into a particular college or program, but all about the direction? It was a fair question. I can't picture where I'll end up unless I have a direction in mind. Wait, I need a drink. Holy heck. Oh, Mofu, get wrecked. I get to hang out with Blue every day, unlike you. Oh, you stop that, Soulful. I keep on a dream of becoming famous, which I was about to achieve, so I can live with you in the middle of nowhere because love. Let's go. Trashman's not allowed on this stream anymore. Where were we? She advised that given my fine academic standing, it wouldn't be too hard for me to get into a decent college in Tokyo. The counseling session soon finished up, and we started chatting. I just wanted to make a drastic move. Even Hokkaido would do, actually. I was confessing before I even noticed. Miss Sumida's openness during our last conversation must have rubbed off on me. I have this intense desire to move, pretty much all the time, I said on a whim. But the moment I did, I knew it was the truth. Oh, I see. I wonder why that is. I'm not sure. I feel like I've already seen everything here, and I want to find something new. I'm sorry, how do I get my 2 cents? Miss Sumida asked, putting down her pen. Can't keep pushing forward like a wedge plow. That definitely won't last. Wedge plow? wedge plow? You know, the diesel powered thing that pushes snow off railroad tracks? That yellow guy. I've barely seen on TV before. Oh, nothing. When I meet students for career counseling, I think about who they remind me of the people I know. The first time I saw you, I thought of a senior of mine in college. She was a girl though. She quit school and ran off to Canada without telling a soul. Alright, Mofu, do your job. Yo, let's go, Mofu. Yo, let's go. You land your shots. We won. Let's go. Woo! Is like playing Apex again? I remember having a crush on a dude for like 2 years and said I was born at the wrong generation and I lost feelings. And he said I was born in the wrong generation and I lost feelings. What the heck? Please, stuff as big as L? Really? Canada? She died in a mountain climbing accident the year before last? What? My emotions usually don't show on my face, but I bet I winced that time. What are you trying to say? I've only recently discovered that there are two types of kids who aren't a fanful. Miss Sumida continued, half ignoring my question. A girl like Kanae is easy to deal with. You know, leave her alone, and she'll be fine. It's not like you might fall off a cliff without anyone knowing. I'm very worried about you. If we fall off a cliff, I would never let that happen. No stargazing while you're walking. Miss Sumida scowled and stared straight at me. You could die. I want to stick to best followers. Not here, Synchro. Yo, Synchro. Do we need to ban you too? Are you a bot? Are you about to advertise it in a bit? I'm watching you, Synchro. I was dreaming. The girl and I ascended the hill. The starlit hill was a gentle green. The most endearing color to me, and it wouldn't do if we were even a little bit lighter or darker. The shading was just perfect. The warmth that I could feel but not touch. We were the only ones in that beloved space. Yes, it was perfect, as if the concept of perfection had taken form. It was there in the dream. It was there in my hands. All my hopes had finally materialized. This was where I wanted to be. This was where I wanted to stay. What the heck, Mofu? I wanted to hold the landscape. The girl and the universe fully understood me. I fully understood them as well. As I was a grown-up, I knew that no such place existed. I knew it, but couldn't accept it. I couldn't stop reaching into the darkness to find it. One late summer evening, full of the cicada song, Kanae and I were riding home together on our motorcycles. We were spending more and more time together. The road home that had cooked us just a few days ago was blanketed in a cool breeze. I never checked my side mirror. I didn't have to turn back to know she was there. I only looked straight ahead. I wanted to ride harder, I wanted to ride faster. The vector existed in me. I'm going to keep going. While Kanae stressed over drinks in the ice shop like always, I bought my usual dairy coffee and stepped outside. That's pronounced? There's no way, Soulful. You're getting smacked. Are there cicadas or cicadas? I forgot. Almost said it. You're getting slapped. I leaned against the seat of my cub, took out my phone, and continued to write down my dream, picking up where I had left off. A message to nowhere. Kanae came out. She faltered when she saw me. She wanted to ask about the message, but she decided against it. That much I could figure out. For a split second, I expected something about her from her, but I flat rejected that desire. I folded my flip phone with a snap. We rode into the pitch black night. I saw her off at her house. When we parked our cubs by the front gate, a small Shiba Inu leapt out from the old metal basin, and executing a drift along the way, jumped at Kanae. I hope we're doing well. We found out I'm catch a stream, but it's currently fine. I've been up since morning. Oi, go to sleep. I can't say about how wonderful stream. Yeah, Kana, it's been a while. Hope we're doing well. Hope I can. Actually, I've been lurk on your stream, so hope I can drop by to actually say something. So hopefully you're getting smacked. Take care, Kana. Bye. Oh my gosh, it's late for you. Sneaky, more like stinky. No Fanny alone, this gosh is rough. Get wrecked, OG. Don't do it, OG, it's not worth it. Those Saiyans, those Giga Chads, they aren't worth it. Okay, why don't you drop by my streams? You know I don't stream, so you drop by. No, I drop by sometimes, Sofu. Every day I drop by with a different account to report your account. Yeah, good night, Kana. Bye. Bye bye. Hi, Cub. I'm home. Oh, my Cuboo whoop. Oh no. She bent down, gently scratched around the pup's collar. Its owner wore his loveliest expression, so cute she couldn't stand it. With deft footwork, Cub played with Kanae's fingers from every possible angle. Cub was a nice name, even if a dog has 4 legs while a cub is a two-wheeler. While I gazed at Kanae's back as she crouched and cheerfully petted Cub, something clawed at my memory. I started searching my dream for the memory, but that wasn't it. A sense of deja vu was connected to a more realistic picture. A haze obscured with memory-like thing. That memory-like thing. And it immediately fell out of my grasp. All I was left with was a painfully sentimental, trembling feeling that made me want to cry. Well, you stop that. What? Read that properly? I'm not reading that properly. Get over yourself, fool. Ah. Oh, my Kaboo Woo-poo. Woo-boo. I hate you guys. So freaking smacked, what the heck? Once I wondered what would happen, I persuaded Kanae to sleep with me. I just might... Wait, what? Okay, that was random. I just might find something important through the act. What? That can't be a reason. What is what I'm reading? Both are getting slapped too. I know it's an inane and selfish idea. Yes, thank you. I rejected partly because it seemed too complicated on many levels. That shouldn't be the reason why you rejected it. But that wasn't the biggest problem. I tossed out the idea mainly because she was dear to me. Thank you. Well, I didn't love her in a romantic sense. I did cherish her. I didn't want to hurt her. I wanted to take care of her. There was one more reason I was scared. Scared I wouldn't find anything important inside her. What the heck? I'm so scared I want to be friends with you, Mofu, but I'm scared that I wouldn't find you of any value. I'm scared that you wouldn't be able to provide me with anything. So god dang it. That's basically what I'm reading right now, Mofu. What the heck? What am I reading? Scared I wouldn't find anything important inside her? You don't need to find it. I mean, if she's important to you, then I'm pretty sure it will already be there for you. I don't know. It should already be. I don't know what that important thing is. Maybe you're referring to something else. Which is why I thought I shouldn't even try. The decision absolutely crushed me. It was the final verdict. There's nothing for you anywhere. Oh, this guy's edgy as heck. I totally misread that sentence. Which one? Clearly, something about Kanae had deeply affected me. For many years, I could not decipher exactly what it was. I only figured it out way after the fact. If I had to put how she made me feel into words, nostalgia is the closest I can get. If I had been born and raised on that island and hadn't had a peculiar dream, I'm sure I would have fallen for a girl like Kanae. I might have had my fulfilling childhood, full of uncertainty and pain and joy. And being that alternate version of myself in another world was like a heartache of a long-distance relationship.